300 meters long, 100,000 tons of steel, fuel, and people floating in open ocean. Now picture what happens when it needs to stop. The captain gives the order. A massive anchor, the size of a car, weighing over 20 tons, drops from the bow. The chain screams as it unspools. The anchor plunges into the water, and in your mind, you see it sink all the way down, hit the ocean floor, dig in, hold the ship in place. That image is wrong. In most of the ocean, the anchor never reaches the bottom at all. And the reason why, the actual physics of how a ship anchor really works, is completely different from anything you've imagined. Anchors have held ships in place for thousands of years. They have saved vessels from storms, kept fleets positioned for battle, and allowed sailors to sleep at night in open water. But almost nobody understands how they actually work. Not the shape, not the chain, not the physics. Today we're going beneath the surface to uncover the real science behind ship anchors, and why what you think is holding that ship in place is not what you think at all. Right here on the Untold Ordinary. Here is what most people believe. The anchor drops, it sinks to the bottom. Its flukes, those curved metal hooks, dig into the seabed. The ship pulls against it. The anchor grips harder. Ship stays put. Simple, logical, almost completely wrong. Here is the first problem. The average depth of the world's oceans is around 700 meters. A large ship carries between 200 and 400 meters of anchor chain. Do that math. Even if you dropped every single link of chain overboard, the anchor would be dangling nearly 3,000 meters above the ocean floor. Hanging in open water, holding nothing. This is why ships cannot anchor in the middle of the ocean. They simply don't have enough chain. But even in shallow coastal waters, ports, bays, anchorages where the water is 30 to 80 meters deep, the anchor still doesn't work the way you picture it. Because the anchor itself is almost the least important part of the system. Here is what actually holds a ship in place. The chain, not the anchor at the end of it. The chain itself. When an anchor is deployed correctly, huge lengths of heavy chain pile up on the seabed. That chain is extraordinarily heavy. A single meter of anchor chain on a large ship can weigh over 100 kilograms. When the ship pulls against the anchor, it isn't pulling the anchor out of the seabed. It is lifting that massive pile of chain off the bottom. Horizontal tension pulls the chain up, and the sheer weight of all that chain lying on the floor resists the pull. Think of it like a dog on a leash made entirely of lead. The dog pulls. The leash lifts off the ground, but the weight of the leash itself, not the post it's attached to, is what slows the dog down. This is why ships deploy far more chain than the depth of water requires. Not 30 meters of chain for 30 meters of water. 3 to 5 times that. 100 to 150 meters of chain in 30 meters of water, so that there is always a thick, heavy horizontal layer draped across the seabed absorbing the tension. The anchor at the end is just the last resort. The thing that grips if all that chain somehow isn't enough. So when does the anchor itself actually matter? When the chain alone isn't enough. In strong currents. In bad weather. When the ship is moving enough to lift all that chain off the bottom and put direct tension on the anchor itself. And here is where the shape of an anchor becomes brilliant. The flukes, those wide curved blades at the bottom, are not designed to grab the seabed like a hook grabbing a ledge. They are designed to plow into it. When horizontal tension pulls on the anchor chain, it pulls the anchor sideways. And those angled flukes react to sideways tension by digging downward, deeper into the sand or mud, not being pulled free. The harder the ship pulls, the deeper the anchor buries itself. It is a self-locking mechanism. The more force you apply trying to free it, the more firmly it grips. This is also why dragging anchor, when the anchor slides instead of gripping, is one of the most dangerous situations a ship can face. It usually means the seabed is rock or hard clay, nothing for the flukes to plow into. The anchor skates sideways and the ship drifts. So here is the question that should be forming in your mind right now. If anchors only work in shallow coastal water, what holds a massive ship in place in the middle of the open ocean? The answer is nothing, and that is perfectly fine. In deep open water, ships do not anchor. They drift. They use GPS and onboard computers to monitor their position constantly. When wind or current pushes the ship off course, the engines fire automatically in real time to nudge it back. This system is called dynamic positioning. And on modern vessels like offshore drilling platforms, research ships and cable-laying ships that need to hold an exact position for weeks at a time, dynamic positioning replaces the anchor entirely. No chain, no flukes, no seabed. Just a computer, a GPS signal, and engines firing in precise directions to hold 50,000 tons of steel exactly where it needs to be. The anchor, one of humanity's oldest tools, has an entire category of ship that no longer needs it at all. So the next time you see a ship sitting quietly in a harbor, apparently going nowhere, know that it isn't the anchor holding it there. It's the weight of hundreds of meters of chain draped across the seabed. It's the physics of a fluke that grips harder the more you pull against it. It's a system designed not to lock a ship down, but to absorb its movement gradually, like a shock absorber on the ocean floor. And out in the deep ocean, there is no anchor at all, just a GPS coordinate, a computer and engines working silently to hold position against everything the sea throws at them. The surprising truth is that one of the most iconic images in maritime history, the anchor, is almost never doing what you picture it doing. It doesn't touch the bottom of most oceans. It doesn't grip like a hook. And on the most advanced ships in the world, it doesn't exist at all. If this changed the way you think about what's happening beneath a ship you've walked past 100 times, give the video a like and share it with someone who's never once questioned how an anchor actually works. And subscribe to the Untold Ordinary for more hidden stories behind the everyday world around us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep wondering.